I'm Jarrell, this is Mountain Home. Today I'm going to share an interesting bowed zither instrument with you. This instrument comes from around the 1940s, 1950s, thereabouts. It's made by the Marxochime colony. They made a number of bowed instruments and zither type instruments. This one is damaged. They're often not stored well, often in barns or in attics, and so they tend to warp and become damaged. So what I need to do is loosen the strings and try to straighten this out. I will be using hide glue and a clamp, and I will be reinforcing that bottom part with a couple of screws just to make sure, for good measure, that it doesn't warp any further in the future. Now the strings that they put on here are very, very heavy. Let's take a closer look. This is the box that the instrument came in. It is the original box. What I really like is this kind of a zebra sunburst pattern on the staining of the instrument here. Really lovely. It's great that the tone which you tune the strings, it's great that those are still present. Generally these are sort of paper, and then this one is actually printed onto the instrument, which is pretty nice. Generally that's something you see in a little bit newer instruments. Now I generally replace these strings, but this is a special case. These kinds of instruments loop back around. It's very complicated to replace the strings on that because they loop around and they swing all around. It's a little bit complicated, so it's not that simple to replace. There's a peg missing here, and in general I replace them because they have very high tension. These are older strings. With newer technology we can use newer strings that are lighter gauge and still achieve the same tone, if not have a better tonality to it, because it can resonate more freely and there's less tension. So we'll clean this up. I'd like to get the dust off of there, get this looking pretty nice, and we will fix the warping on that, reinforce that, make this playable. It seems as though one of the strings is missing because we have a peg here, so I should have two notes here that I won't be able to play, and it looks like let's see, it'll be these last two here. Okay, so I may have to sort out some piano wire and figure out what gauge I can use and replace that accordingly. Not a big deal. I should be able to do that. All right, so I'll be doing the repairs, and if I have a pretty good end result, I will share that with you. I've taped the strings so they stay in order and they don't get jumbled up, otherwise that'll be a real nightmare. Alright, this is as tight as I could humanly get this clamp, and it's still not totally flush. Now I don't trust the hide glue to be able to withstand the amount of tension coming from these strings. Again, these are very old strings, and these old strings have significantly higher tension than modern strings. This will not hold, so I will be adding screws to the back. I don't really want to do that. It's not pretty, but at this point, if I do not add screws to that, I know for a fact this instrument will not hold. The build materials are not hard like what we would have used in something, say, made within the last 50 years or so, and I know for a fact that this glue will not withstand the tension, especially the pulling force, the prying force. are. I finished the restoration on the Marxochime from Marxolin, and I think it's quite a beautiful instrument. I'm quite lucky to have a specimen that has the paint still on the instrument itself. I'll share with you a sample of the sound as well. I have not tightened these strings. These strings, the tension is too great. These are the old original strings, and if I tighten these, it will actually cause the instrument to fold in on itself, which will destroy it. So I won't be using these, and the appeal of these instruments is for use as a bowed psaltery. So I will share with you the sound sample of the Marxochime Marxolin. Here we go. You can use a standard violin bow, and it does play just normally like this. If you would like a further explanation on the technique of playing this instrument and other bowed psalteries, you may let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this instrument and going through the process of restoration with me. Take care of yourselves, be well, come home again soon. I'll leave the porch light on for you.